Hi Sagis, and welcome to your weekly Taroscopes. So that's from the 22nd to the 28th of February. And I want to thank you before I start for supporting the channel, and just to let you know there are also monthlies that are out, so if you didn't check them as well. And please subscribe, like, share the videos, because the sign that actually does this the most is going to get their forecast before time, as basically I was creating this healthy competition among the others. So let's go into your week without further delay. Two base cards. I actually do have. I was like puzzled, and I will actually take two more cards over here in order to clarify. So we have the the Empress reversed with underneath a Fire King, which is you guys, and then we have the Emperor reversed with Seven of Sea. Already. So what's happening here, Sagis? There is a couple that is no longer a couple. The world has been turned down. He feels that he has other choices, and he's not happy with what he has. She feels that he is not what he's supposed to be, that Fire King, and he's not living to his potential. So this is that, like, losing yourself in the illusion of Seven of basically Cups, not really getting forward because you feel either there are too many options or you're so confused. This is your overall energy. So I really need to shake you like a little bit, because for quite a while this is going on and it's going on. Come on, you guys are that Archer sign. Just like, for God's sake, take your bow and get this target. Like, this is not happening in a while, and if everybody's tired of it, just like spit out the truth. Go and speak your piece and let's get it over with. So I'm going to get quite a few videos here as well for you, because it's kind of like really interesting reading. So what is basically here in a base of the reading already here? So we have the starting point, which is kind of a basic issue, and the basic issue is like, you want to basically get everything. Look, this is the kitty trying to get a rein of horses without basically pulling the strings. You somehow feel that you can play mind games and you can get everybody to do what you want. Really, this is going to happen, and you think this is going to affect the peace in your home. So for you that are going through the situation of kind of not understanding if you should stay or you should go, this says that you really want either you to be a boss in a relationship, or that your vision of relationship is just like really something that you have in your mind. And the question is like, are you sure that your partner feels the same way? Or do you think that kind of is the workable situation, right? Because obviously the crossing card is like Nine of Earth, which is the counterpoint. And this is kind of like quality. This is singlehood. The basically card of comfort, but this comfort is not with anyone else, which is the same thing here. So Sagis, if you're single, you're going to enjoy being single. You want to find what is the best single you can be and how to govern yourself better. If you are in a relationship, you are really thinking about getting out. So why? You kind of like feel that you can do better. Like, here is like a little kitty that kind of like won the battle, and all these other cats now have to subordinate themselves, and they're bringing their presence and their accolades. You kind of like feel that you have been justified in something, and you know what? Enjoy while you can. It's always good to feel that you were right in something, and that maybe the decisions you made or the thoughts or the fights that you fought were justified. It's a good feeling, but at the same time, please remember that in every win you have people who lost, and they don't feel right, and they can kind of go back behind your back and kind of like harm you if you really want, right? So this is that higher perspective. If you're looking from the mountain down and you see somebody celebrating, just like ensure that everybody else is kind of like happy about it. So this is basically your challenge. It is so what you cannot do. Sagittarius, like, you're the passion, you kind of like, I'm going for it, and for some reason for months you're stuck, and now this is a challenge. Oh my God, can it get any worse? You're having a sea kitten over here. Like somebody's asking you to be romantic and to communicate and to kind of have this flavor of playfulness. And then you have, excuse me, Emperor's in reverse. Like, I mean, this is complete lack of nourishment. It's like, ugh, you know, I don't know, like what they really want. Do I really want a family? Do I really want a kids? And yet you're supposed to be romantic about it. So it's kind of like you are torn because like you feel that people that you currently have are not the people where you can express those feelings. And that can also mean that, you know, you just simply are feeling that there must be somebody else here for you. But it's kind of one of those situations like, is there somebody like that for me or is it not? So what are you leaving basically behind you? This is sort of like the strengths and skills that you did bring to the current situation. It also could actually refer some past issues. So you have cat magic. You have cat magic, and this is basically the Magician inversed. That's not a good sign. That means, but it's in the past. So if you have been deceptive, if you have been sort of like taking the high road, sorry, we're not taking a high road, which I see that you didn't because you feel like you're the winner. Again, remember your monthlies, you have to apologize to someone. It could be vice versa, that somebody was like really putting tricks on you and you got tricked and manipulated. So either way, this was a situation that is in the past. If it's you, or if it's not you, or if it was both of you, which could be the case, that I think it was both of you, which kind of makes sense. If you're tricked back, or somebody puts you down, you react, and then the whole imbalance keeps going back and forth and bigger, and until it gets to basically a cat magic inverse. So, since you're shedding this energy, and let's see what is the energy you're moving into. So this is basically the destiny, basically how which things actually evolve without any influences. And we will actually have Sky Tone, but it's like reverse. So this is like a page, and one of those pages that actually looks this way instead of this way. So it's actually looking at the past and trying to see what can be actually learned from the past in this situation. But if it's inverse, it's actually looking in the future without really having the good foundations of the past, right? Because even here, the foundations were kind of like upside down. Same thing here. So you are still recycling certain kind of issues. And you see, actually, sorry, this is a knight. This is not a page. This is the knight that looks back. But this page here also looks in the past. Could it be that you have somebody in your past that you love? Could that be that is not your current partner, or that was some kind of breakup that happened and that you're still romanticizing about this person and you cannot get them out of your mind? This can also mean that as well. So let's see, before we move to the pillars of revelation, where it shows more or less how situation can be influenced, and this is pretty much what it is. So I want to see during virtue basically thing, and the card I pulled for you is retreat. So you see the couple, and it says it's time to disconnect from the world. So when do we usually get this card? This basically says that, you know, love goes through cycles as everything else, and sometimes it's a very sociable and sometimes it isn't sociable. And here you kind of like feel that you have to be in control, or that somebody controlled you, but more or less I think you feel you need to be in control. And if that means to be on your own and you want to continue alone, maybe you're thinking you want to continue alone, maybe whatever happened in the past was not there and you just like want to keep it as a memory because maybe bad things happened in the past and the communication was horrible. It was lots of arguing and somebody had to be a winner, which is like, I mean, sure fail for any relationship. Whenever somebody's a winner and I'm a loser, that's a lose-lose situation. When you have win-lose, it's a lose-lose. So what is basically this? I would say that you're confused and conflicted and you really need time for yourself. If you're single, I would definitely meditate on what is it you want. Do you really want this person from the past? If so, you know what? Time to communicate. If you have been bad, if you have been manipulated, if you feel wrong, communicate that too. You know what? We are not in a great fight anymore that we kind of like have to pull somebody's hair to kind of get their attention. We are adults right now. And, you know, you don't have to feel a sense of, you know, shame of contacting somebody if you need clarification. They might give it to you, they might not give it to you. But again, this is their level of maturity. This also can mean taking a vacation. If you're a couple and if you're feeling this energies, passion is getting over, you don't know what you feel, you know, it is good to take retreat, vacation, even a drive in the country, just to be alone and have this candid conversation, because that's maybe what it means. Like, you need this conversation, you need to try to turn this around and have this proper communication, because right now, this is like slippery slope at this stage. And I can see it here, because the real question, again, we are going back to this emotions. Sagittarius, you and emotions, that's really not your forte. So here it says there is like nostalgia over here. Like you have Six of Sea, right? You see the kitties are here swimming and enjoying, right? We all know the cats love, you know, water. Well, this is sarcastic, right? It's like fish out of water or cat in the water, the same thingy, right? So what is basically happening here? This is inverse. This is bringing you back to memories, but not good memories. These are good memories. You want to feel romantic. You have been manipulated or you manipulated. So what does that tell me? And here you are just, you give up. You just like simply give up, or other people see you as giving up and you are not communicating. You want to communicate, but you just kind of like, you don't give a damn over here. So really, really, really horrible situation. Kind of like you are stuck. Like, right, look at this. You want to be a winner. You want to kind of like be a chariot. But you want to be single. Well, no, let's not be single. Let's do a little bit of romantic things. Well, actually, you know what? I don't want to do romantic things over here because I'm not so sure if I want to be with this partner. Right? Well, which partner is really good for me? Well, I would love this kind of like, I mean, charismatic kind of person. But you know what? Well, what if I find somebody charismatic and this person kind of like takes the better of me? What if I'm not good and I cannot communicate, etc., etc.? So everything is up in the air. Like you're not feeling, you're really, really not feeling comfortable. You have the earth energy, you have like water energy, and the only fire that you get, which is your sign, is like in your base, the Emperor and the Empress, and you have the fire kitten. Because this card is like what you need to overcome. And you need to overcome the fact that you actually lost yourself. You lost the playfulness of a fire kitten. So this is the proverbial Page of Wands. I mean, again, you have a page over here. I told you the pages always look this way. But again, this is also looking back. You Saggies are looking into something that has been in the past. You are not able to get over someone. I mean, I cannot deny it here anymore, because even if you're single, this is what's happening. You're really trying very hard. You have been hurt. I think even if you were the one doing the leaving or you're leaving someone, you are not over this person. You still love this person. That was a multi-layered person, because that person manipulated you. This person created bad memories, but this person was so romantic and so basically forceful, had this energy that you loved, had that charisma that you were actually really, really attracted to, and gave you like all these possible options. I think that's the person that showed you who you really are, and you could not get enough of this person. And you know what? Now you're saying, well, you know what? I don't want these bad parts of this person. I want these good parts of this person. But you know what? People come in that package. There is always a package deal. So what basically this card is saying is that you need to approach, first of all, yourself and how you communicate. Because sometimes Our communication kind of creates people fly out of proportion. So fix yourself first before you approach them. And I certainly advise you approach them. Before approaching them, retreat and find out how. Kind of like create a little plan and how to do it, because you're not going to get anywhere. And why I'm telling you approach it, because you know what? If you don't do it, the cards will make you do it. You have the Tower inverse. It is disaster being slightly avoided, but you know what? You're not going to get healing unless you kind of do all these things, because this is the last card. So you're starting with Chariot and you're finishing with Tower inverse. Guys, what does it tell you? You're in a car that goes in a ditch. So what I'm telling you, prevent it of going to a ditch. Put the oil, put everything that you need, nourish yourself, kind of eat good food, etc. So let me show you Tower inverse, like what basically is going to come close. Just let me illustrate this with you. Alright, Sagittarius, like, did you see how close that can be? Just is going to be this close. Don't consider yourself lucky, because you know what? It's just calling you for a real reason. And this is coming close because it's going to keep coming close until it really explodes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clarify a few things over here, because there is a confusion. I'm just trying to see what I can do to make this tower happen this way, to get you, like, I mean, to the ground. It's going to be a painful bump, but you know what, at least we're going to move ahead. So let's see what is happening here with the tower. Please clarify Sagittarius tower this week. There you go. Sorrow, friend, and lover. Oh my guys. Sorrow. You're suffering. You have been either dumped or you dumped someone, but you cannot get over it. This person was your friend. This person was your lover. This person was everything. You cannot get over it. This is probably a different relationship or the same relationship. I'm wondering if some of you Saggies have a true, basically, love relationship that came to your life and you were taken. And this kind of shook you up. It could be for some of you that you kind of like saw this soulmate coming to your life and questioning if it's real or if it's not real. Maybe some of you basically have been with someone who have been multi-layered and you just like wanted a few things, but not everything. But all of you realize that there is love out there for you, and it is with someone. It's not the singlehood as you are trying to fight so much for. And this is why all these forces are going back and forth, because you're fighting against who you are designed to be. So please spend some time thinking. So let me go back to these bad memories that are tormenting you. What is this all about? Please clarify. 6 of C inverse. So we have sights, we have wanting reversed, and we have despair. Look at this woman. The rose is dropped. The ship is out. You're looking back in the past. This is somebody who has lost someone who is like really, really sad. And then we have wanting, and you just stopped looking. You stop wanting someone. This is not to say that you're not feeling it. Look at this. There is somebody who is like really, who hoped, you either hoped or somebody else hoped you will come back, you will communicate, right? Somebody has left, and that was like complete lack of communication, which is kind of like driving you crazy. It's absolutely driving you crazy. You're like having all kinds of thoughts, and you're really wondering if the life is worth living. Not this dramatically. I really hope that you're not this way, but this is kind of a situation. These are those bad memories, past memories, but bad memories coming out. I'm so sorry about this, Saggies. But you know, obviously this is emotional part that is kind of like shaking you. So let's see this lethargy. What is this lethargy going to lead to? We have a popper. Let's clarify for Saggies. Lots of cards here that are sort of clear, but at the same time, there we go. Oh my God. Right, we started with this. My initial kind of intuition was that this is like you guys in a couplehood reconsidering it. Reconsidering what you want, reconsidering if you want to be in a couplehood, reconsider what kind of relationship you want if you need to renegotiate that. So what did you get here as a clarification of you now giving up, not knowing what you want. So you got a wise woman, old woman, you got wedding, and you got merchant. So on the outside, and the pressures that you are getting, sort of like a vision and situation, is that if you're in a relationship, you want to renegotiate that. You just like want a different deal. And you're getting wise up about what you want. So this is on the outside. These are your feelings. You are feeling deep inside that actually you want to be in a relationship, but not the kind that you had, or not the kind that you so far managed to do it. So again, these are the words you need to talk, speak, and let's clarify these words and let's see what's going to be that. So this means that you are going to really, really try to think what to say, because yeah, you do want that person. Maybe this is why you're not getting back with that person, because it sounds like the price was just too high to pay. And yet you cannot stop longing, which means that person had the soulmate structure, but you need to learn how to coordinate your energies and how to kind of like soften the edges. So let's see, because this is a communication, and really the goal is not to really kill the bird. So let's see what is the advice here, what to do and what to avoid. Let's clarify sky tone. Reversed. Yeah. We got servant, cheerfulness, and wife. So when you kind of like start this communication, you kind of have to put a goal in your own head. You have to learn that this is not you who will dominate this conversation, because then again you're going to create this win-lose situation. Here you have to kind of like take the attitude that you want to figure out what is the best and what works for this person, what would service them. This is best done in a cheerful way, and it's best done thinking what would be the best for a relationship. So with having that open-mindedness, you will be able to communicate better, because this way that kind of came out, it would mean, well, you just want to blur things out, and this is what I want, this is what I don't want, you either take it or I'm single. Kind of like this is not how you negotiate things. And this is basically telling you, try to think. You always have times to change it. You always have time to say no. Just like, when you're coming to the table to negotiate with someone, always try to figure out what is in his hand. And you don't do it by being abrupt. You don't do it by ordering them. You don't do it by winning over them. You don't do that by commanding them. You're just creating resentment. So this is saying, turn it around. Saggies, be smart. Retreat first to figure out how to do it and run with it. So Leslie, let's check these energies of this Chariot and this kind of a confusion that you have over here. We've got notice, but we've got that inverse. Well, this will be the rune of necessity. So I guess you're trying to figure out, because these are sort of like extremes. Well, not really extremes, but kind of like trying to figure out what you want, because this kind of increase your chances of success for a really great fortune. And like, I mean, this kind of chariot feels very fortunate and feels like right on top. But this also shows unpleasant revelation, which actually can turn out to be positive. So it's a painful time, as we can see here, that you're like really fighting, you're like so stubborn, you either feel you have been left or you left somebody and you are not seeing the way to remedy that. And yet you cannot stop longing. It's a kind of like bad corner to be in. And this is basically what confirms it. But it says also this, that it will be helpful to get family and friends to kind of encourage kind of you, and that's kind of like what probably here is like a wise kind of advice that we have seen. And this also means that you don't feel secure. And this is why maybe you're going between like, you know what, I'm going to be forceful, I'm just going to do whatever I want. And, you know, but this is basically saying, you know what, you have to accept what happened. This is the first basically situation, and the relationship that you basically cherish may have failed, and the future seems uncertain. And this is basically the time to test your character. That's all it says. So pretty much it just confirms everything we have seen. Saggies, lots of work in front of you. Just remember, the Tower in reverse comes with you guys being a lover in the end who did lose their friend. So it is time to kind of revisit this relationship in your head. Try to see what worked, what didn't work. Try to see how to approach it to get a closure, or to kind of like see if there is like still something that you can kind of communicate. And it's really good to do it in a romantic way. It's really good to do it with having their interest in mind, and just try to find out if maybe it was something you did wrong as well. Okay, please check your monthlies, and please subscribe and like and share. And I love you until the next week.